Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And this is going to be a very over the top, type of viewers discretion is advised type video that we're going to be covering about, because it is a very problematic fictional uh, characters that can come off as very creepy and weird to some people. Well, probably most people, I would say, including myself. But you be the judge of that. Anyways, so this was something that I had been talking and discussing with people for a while on Discord and even on social to a certain extent. And I didn't know if I really wanted to make a video on it because it was I didn't know how it was going to be received. But then I seen that Geekdom 101 actually recently made a video covering some of it, I guess. And so I was like, okay. And I know Geekdom covered a lot of topics on this specific topic, and he kind of also put more into perspective of it being fiction. And this scenario can never really happen because there are no Dragon Balls, there are no genies, there are no way people can wish themselves to being, a two-time kid. I don't even know how to say it, so I'm just gonna say a two-time kid, basically. Um, but I do think it is something that really needs to be put more into actual perspective. So I feel like it needs to be covered a little better than that. And I think Geekdom did bring up some good points on it. I'm not trying to say that his video wasn't good in the way he covered it, because I think he did cover it objectively. But at the same time, I feel like there's not enough contents to this particular topic. And so I feel like I should add more of my 2 cents on this. Now, first and foremost, I just want to say right now, as you guys know, if you have been subscribed to the channel or if you follow my channel, I am an English dub only anime fan. But not only that, I am a more of a TV guy watcher type person. I prefer to watch my content. So when it comes to mangas, I don't really read them, because if it's just basically a manga basically retelling the same events that are going to eventually be on said anime or said show or said whatever, I tend to not read those mangas because I want to actually enjoy it on TV. I prefer watching that type of stuff on TV than reading it. For example, if like Avatar: The Last Airbender, for example, like they have the comic books, but those comic books aren't retellings of the original show. They are new things that we hadn't seen before. Those I read because of that fact. Um, with mangas, it's for the most part things that are just basically the same as the anime. Not all animes are like this, obviously, but 90% of them are. So this is why I don't read mangas typically, because they are not the same. They are basically the same, and I don't want to be spoiled because obviously the manga comes before the anime typically, most of the time. So that's kind of how that works. That was a mouthful. But basically, that's kind of how my format is. So, I do know Dragon Ball Super's manga has continued despite the fact that the anime ended a while ago, but Dragon Ball Super will be coming back, the anime, at some point. Because of this, I have not been following the manga that has been going on, but I did obviously hear about the recent news because, I mean, it was kind of all over social media. It was kind of hard not to hear about it. Um, But there was this recent thing that came out a couple of months ago about present day Mai and present day Trunks, about them possibly, or they're going to be in this school together. And obviously Mai is now a teenager. Again, I have to say that again because she's a two-time kid. She was an adult. She was a kid, then she became an adult. Obviously in Dragon Ball, she was an adult. And then she somehow at some point wished for herself to be back as a kid, which never was shown or explained. We just have to assume. And basically, she wished herself, her and the Emperor Pilon Gain, basically wished themselves back to being kids. So she is a kid again. And she's not immortally a kid. She can eventually grow up again, which is what's happening. She's growing up again, basically. But this to me is a very problematical thing here. And first and foremost, I just want to say this right now. Future Trunks and Future Mai are okay in my book. I have no issues with that pairing. And I say that specifically for this particular topic of the video because Future Trunks and Future Mai met each other when they both were adults. Mai was a two-time adult by the time she met Future Trunks, who was already an adult himself, as they pretty much met after the androids were killed by Trunks. And Future Cell was killed by Future Trunks. Like, that was all done. He killed them all. He killed those androids. He killed Future Cell, and he saved his world, basically, from them when he came back from the present-day timeline. Okay? He took care of that. Okay? He took care of that whole thing. Surprisingly enough, I don't know how he didn't meet Mai then, because, I mean, it's kind of hard since there really weren't that many civil people back then, because, I mean, the androids did do a lot of damage, in Future Trunks' timeline. But nonetheless, it's whatever. They didn't meet each other until Goku Black, started, I guess having chaos. Because they even said during the, when Buu came, I guess, in his timeline that, they hadn't met yet. So it was a good thing because she was already an adult. Perfect timing. She was an adult again. She was a two-time adult. This is kind of hard to friggin', I don't know how to word this better. So that's why I'm saying she's just two-time adult at this point. Future Trunks was, adult, either late 20s or early 30s, whatever. I don't know what the exact age would be. But nonetheless, they were both adults. Okay in my book. That's not the problem. Okay? The problem is present-day Mai and present-day Trunks. Okay? And, it was originally, I guess, supposed to just be a joke. Just that kid Trunks, has a crush on her, which, obviously, a kid like Trunks in his age, it's common to have a crush on someone that they see, they don't know any better, obviously. However, Mai, being that she is a two-time, kid, she already had the life experience of being an adult. She already grew up. She was in her 40s in Dragon Ball, So she already had the life experience of being an adult and then was wished back to being a kid. So she already knows what is going on. You know what I'm saying? She already knows, she already had that life experience, puberty and all that stuff. Okay? So for her to reciprocate, Trunks's, romance is weird and very problematic. And so I don't agree with this ship at all. And to all the people that are saying, well, they have to because Future Trunks and Future Mai are together? No, they do not, because they are different people. Yes, they are the same DNA, but they are different people. And you want to know why I can say that? Because in the future timeline, Goku and Vegeta are dead, okay? Android 18 and Android 17 were extremely bad. As a matter of fact, future Android 18 kills Krillin, or kills future Krillin. They never get married, okay? So it is a completely different life experience in the future timeline than it is in the present day timeline. So no, present day Trunks and present day Mai do not have to get together just because the future Mai and the future Trunks got together. Okay, that is absolutely a bullshit. That is absolutely bullshit and not true because of the way Dragon Ball set up the future timeline. The future timeline has different life experiences. Hell, even future Gohan is different than present day Gohan. Everyone always talks about how future Gohan is all much more cooler than present day Gohan. Life experience is different in that timeline. He obviously never married Videl in the future timeline, okay, because he died, but I don't know if Videl was alive anyways at this point, because obviously the androids killed a lot of people. Mr. Hercule Satan was probably, dead in the future timeline as well. So again, it is a different perspective in a different timeline, different experiences. Future Trunks does not act like present day Trunks, okay? They do not act like each other. Future Trunks is cool. He's got the sword. You don't see present day Trunks doing that. Okay? He doesn't have that. Okay? It is not the same. It is not the same character at all. No matter how you slice it, they are not the same character. Okay? They are not. Yes, they have the same DNA, but they've gone through different backgrounds, different experiences. Future Trunks lived without a father. As a matter of fact, Gohan was more of a father figure to him, because that was the only person he really knew besides his mom. Okay? They were all, Gohan was always around him, training him. Okay? That was his master, essentially. Yes, he did go to the present day timeline and meet his father, Vegeta. Okay? But that wasn't his real father, from his timeline. He never was raised by his real father. Yes, he had Vegeta when he went to the present day, but that was only for a couple of years, okay? In total, that was not, a true life experience for him as a child, okay? So you can't use the life experiences that future Trunks had compared to present day Trunks' life experiences, because the life experiences that present day Trunks has had is not the same as future Trunks. He had a father his entire life. His Vegeta was alive. Gohan was not always training present day Trunks because he didn't have to, because Vegeta was around there for him to train him. Okay? Obviously Gohan had a brother, Gotenks, which he never had in the future timeline. Okay? So, again, the life experiences are completely different, guys. They are completely different. You cannot use the same argument. They are completely different. Future Trunks had a completely different life experience than present-day Trunks did. Okay? And that is a cold, hard fact, whether you like it or not. Okay? They are not the same whatsoever. So, no, present-day Mai and present-day Trunks, okay, do not have to get with each other. They do not. They do not, because the life experiences that they had compared to their future version counterparts are completely different. They had completely different experiences. Future Trunks was always in an apocalyptic world. Same with future Mai. Present day Mai never was that way, though. I mean, Goku did drive her crazy in Dragon Ball, but that's another point. But it was never the world was in an apocalypse, okay? Okay, there was never an apocalypse like there was in the future timeline compared to the present day timeline, okay? It was much more calmer. Yes, there was chaos, but it was not chaos like that because there was always heroes around, okay, to protect everybody, okay? Completely different life experience, okay? With that being said, again, I really hope that they do not put these two together. And yes, I know it is a completely different, in the way of, you know, this is all set up, but it still doesn't change and justify it. And, the scan, which I had to find, it took me a while to find it, because the one Geekdom had, he was like zooming in on it, and I couldn't just take that or snip it. So I just I had to search for this scan, chapter 89 over here. I'm gonna just zoom in on right here because I'm looking at it right now. It really heavily implies, that Bulma actually knows that Bulma knows about the fact that Mai is a two-time kid, basically, and that her age is not what her physical appearance is. And to me, I feel that's bad parenting to all you people out here that keep saying that Goku isn't a freaking good father, okay, which is bullshit, by the way. In the contents of the world they live in, Goku is actually a good father. I mean, not a great father, but he's a fine father. I still think he's a better father than Piccolo. Like, people are comparing Piccolo to Gohan. That's bullshit. Piccolo is fucking more of a brother figure to Gohan than anything else. But again, you got people that, still believe in the stereotype. Much might I add that Geekdom also made a video debunking this whole father thing. But again, still, we have people out there that still believe that Goku was not a good father, which is just fucking insane. He sacrificed his life multiple times for his fucking son. But of course, people just only glare at one fucking thing that he did, during the Cell Saga, and not look at the whole freaking goddamn contents of the series. But nonetheless, this right here by Bulma is bad parenting. All right, this is bad parenting because she knows what Mai is. She knows that she's a two-time kid, that she was already an adult and she became a kid again. She knows this. And yet, she, as the parent, should be letting Trunks know that you can't date this person. Okay? You at this point, Bulma should be letting Trunks know that you cannot date her because she is a two-time kid, that was an adult before and wished herself back as a freaking kid. Okay? That is what should be happening. This is bad parenting by Bulma. Okay? If y'all gonna freaking attack Goku for little damn things, for the littlest dumb things, okay, in the series, which have been debunked year after year, but still people ignore it, then y'all need to start freaking calling Bulma a bad parent. Because this is bad parenting by Bulma. Okay, straight up. Okay? She has a responsibility to tell him this. Okay? Because she does know. Because she obviously was attacked by her in Dragon Ball. Okay? So she does know. So again, and also, I want to bring up this because there were some people, some idiots I seen on social media that had the nerve to be like, well, what about Master Roshi? What about... First of all, Japan has a bunch of weird freaking old people always doing weird things on anime for decades now. Unfortunately, that's not going away. Okay? I think they've started to tone stuff down like that, but that has been going on for years. So people using that argument is freaking bullshit. Okay, first and foremost, because That's something that they've been doing for a while with old people being stereotyped to, uh, you know, you know, glare at women. It's not just Master Roshi. It was also Jiraiya and Naruto. This isn't new. And I'm sure there are many other characters in anime that I haven't mentioned that people can bring up. They've been doing this since the 80s. Don't bring that up in this content. That was stuff that happened in the 80s. It's not right, but it happened. Okay, that's Japan for you. Okay, but this writing right here that we're bringing up, this manga scan right here, this is writing in 2023 or 2022. I'm not exactly sure when this came out, but still, nonetheless, regardless, it's only a year apart. Does not matter. This is in this year contents, okay? Social media era. There is no excuse for this bullshit to be presented, okay? There is no excuse, okay? I don't like when people brought up that logic because I'm like, dude, you're bringing up something that had been established by Japanese writers since the goddamn 80s or 70s or whatever. They've been doing they've been doing the old man stereotype looking at women thing for a long time, okay? Do not use that as a goddamn justification because it is not a justificational argument, okay? That is a stereotype that unfortunately we have to live with, okay? This does not change that fact. This does not change this facts. I know some people are going to probably even bring up other things. Well, what about Batman? What they did within Batman the Animated Series? Again, that happened in years where things like that were looked past. Again, that does not mean it's right. That does not mean it's right. But the fact of the matter is it happened. That doesn't change that it was right. Okay? Does not change that it was right for them to do that because it wasn't. It was not right. And it is not right now if they make present-day Mai and present-day Trunks canon. It is not. It is not. Because by that point, Mai openly knew that, she was technically, mentally, an adult at one point before she became a two-time kid. So she knew that she should not be dating someone who actually was a kid. Okay? She knew that because they met each other, when she was a two-time kid. Again, this scenario would never happen in real life because it is fiction. There would never be a two-time kid. Okay? But that's not the point. It does send an incorrect message to kids that are watching the show. And I do agree with that notion that I do not think they should be doing this. I think future Trunks and future Mai are fine because they were both adults when they met each other. But when it comes to these two, present-day Trunks and present-day Mai, absolutely not. It should not ever happen. And it is a black scar on Dragon Ball if it does end up becoming canon. I will not agree with it. I will not accept it. I do not accept that. And I think it will be a terrible image for Dragon Ball if they make that official. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully they just go their separate ways and present-day Trunks actually finds someone else. Obviously they're in high school, so there's a lot of different high school females that they're establishing, I guess, in this manga. Hopefully they kind of go in that direction and Mai kind of goes to something else. Nonetheless, this is my take on this whole discussion. This was again, very, very difficult to really kind of talk about it in this limelight and try to, get people to understand that this is not a good idea at all. All right? Again, at the end of the day, future Trunks, future Mai are not the same as present-day Mai and present-day Trunks. They had different life experiences, completely different things that they did in their lives. honestly, I don't even know how Mai actually would have become a two-time kid anyways in the future, because obviously the Dragon Balls were destroyed, so she would have had to have done it beforehand, before, Kami was killed. Um, you know, but so that makes it even more earlier. But again, different life experience. Again, it is a different life experience. She had a different life experience than the present day Mai did. Okay? They were in a world of apocalypse. Okay? Where in the present day, they did not. Present day Trunks was coddled by Vegeta. He was trained by Vegeta. He had a father the whole time. Future Trunks did not have a father. He had him later on when he was an adult for a couple of years, when he went to the present day, but that still doesn't count for the entire childhood. Mostly Gohan was his master, his trainer, and really kind of his father, really, essentially, without actually being his, because that was really the only man really in his life. Bulma was a single mom. So, that was really his father. That future Gohan was really future Trunks' father figure, in a way. So, yeah. I don't agree with this direction. Hopefully this doesn't go where people think it leads to. But nonetheless, that's my thoughts on it. I think this is a bad idea. Future Trunks, Future Mai, fine ship. They were both adults again. When they met, completely fine. Present day Mai, present day Trunks, absolutely not. It should not be canon. It should never happen. It is a terrible idea, and I really hope they don't make it happen. And that's all I got to say. Comment, rate. If you like this video or my other videos, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell for all the latest contents. And that is about it, guys. I am the SS Ultimate Goku. Peace.